Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Hello everyone, this is The Nameless One, and today we'll be continuing the Lost Memories Second Chances campaign. Almost a Heart of Darkness. Wrong campaign. Today I have here with me so far Nez. Lone is not here due to health issues, so everybody thoughts and prayers in the chat for him. And Fiction and Ice. Not sure where Moon is, and I'm still probably going to end up needing to add more players. So, we will see how that goes. So, before we get started, and I will be making a better announcement for this on my Twitter and on the YouTube community posts. For those of you that are going to HarmonyCon and would like to get to see me talk about some of the things that I talk about in both the podcast and some of my other content that I make, I will be doing multiple panels on at HarmonyCon next week. So for those of you that look forward to our streams, sadly we will not be able to do any streams, but if you are making it to HarmonyCon, then we will be live. Not live as in, like, in person, I guess. You get the idea. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that good stuff. We will be coming back after HarmonyCon with a new Alicorn discusses, as well as another set of campaign streams. But yeah, other than that, we will talk about the links in the description at the end. For now, let's go ahead and get into the recap, as I am trying to find. There it is. So, who wants to do the recap from the last session that we did? I know Fiction was there, so I'm gonna pick on Fiction because nobody's saying anything.
So last session, it was Emerald and Doc down the prison, and they found one absolutely crazy person and one person stuck in a tube. And then they got the person in the tube out and kind of recruited everybody, and then we went through some freaky psychedelic stuff, killed a ghost, and then
Did we kill the ghost?
yeah,
I think it just left.
Ivory killed the ghost, and that's how we left.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't going to require too much extra for the exorcism because it would be a lot to deal with if I made you guys jump through the hoops of having salt, holy water, silver, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then on, I think it was the first night of camping, we got chased down by a scarecrow. That was fun.
Yeah.
We ended up going west by some amount of accidents to go meet up with the, I think it's like Kazites, or by Canterlot, and found a massacre and ended up saving one person. And then that's where we left off.
Okay. No, I didn't want to add more. Go away. Why is the game paused?
Oh boy.
There it goes. It cleared the pool. I don't actually know how to use the tension pool, and I don't remember if it's even for this system, so we're not going to bother with it. So. I'm going to switch songs because this one is just like obscenely loud.
Nothing but shredding.
Okay. So, as I remember, you guys had just woken up from the night.
Yeah, we set up camp outside the barrier, and we saw the barrier guarding the day before. And so we set up camp a little bit away from the massacre site. We didn't exactly want to sleep by the bodies.
So, if you can see on the map, it is raining.
Oh, wonderful.
Can you see the effects? Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's how that works. So we may be using the tension pool, actually.
Finding stuff out.
It had a message that basically told me everything I needed to know. So, you guys I'm going to say that Doc's patient is going to be unconscious for the time that Doc is not here, as well as Doc being... While he is poo-brained, he is still capable of doing what is needed to be done to, like, hold them stable, but not, like, necessarily improve their situation. Because he's not here to do the actual improving. That being said, that also means that he is going to be less useful than most of the poo brains could be, potentially, because he will do only the things pertaining to dealing with the patient.
Yeah.
So, we're going to say
I'll wait for it to be awaited. Propaganda. Dang.
We're going to say that everybody is awake. This is the first time that Rapid Shatter has actually not been drooling on himself that you've seen, Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. He's very
Yeah.
confused.
The whole one time.
I see one of the flock has woken up. Finally.
I stepped that was directed at your character.
Stuff cut out from my.
One more time, Fiction.
I see one of the flock has woken up. Finally.
And, who are you? What did I miss?
You missed the beginning of a great journey. And I am Ivory Facade.
Nice to meet you. Name's Rapid Chatter.
So, give me just a sec. I'm going to check something. Good. So, I'm going to have... Ivory roll... I want you to roll hidden lore -2.
Okay. Let's see.
And rapid. Let me look. Hidden lore, just regular.
Okie dokie.
How did the one with the -2 pass and the one with the regular one fail?
Well, he has a 16 in his hidden lore. I only have a 10.
Yeah, but you rolled a 16. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed by 6.
he has rapid shatter. You don't remember anything, like something about this individual seems suspiciously familiar, but you can't place a hoof on what. Ivory, you recognize Rapid as a machinist. They're known for their work with like heavier machinery. Your group often is known for recruiting members of theirs. Normally the ones that kind of go off the rails after having large numbers of individuals they know die to the god engines. And despite the fact that your group tends to be very religious, they are very aware that most normal people, it takes a lot more work. So if he hasn't been through the trauma of loss of a lot out of his people, he is not necessarily likely to convert. But that doesn't mean that it has to stop you from trying.
I'm about to say that.
So,
Okay. I see a great epiphany in your future.
Rapid raises an eyebrow.
Ivory just has his fanatical grin.
so what's up?
Let's see. I would like to oracle for the day.
Okay. So, give me just a second. I need to grab my dice and check your stats again. If I remember, it was I roll your perception, right? That's what it was. What I get for putting the book back on the bookshelf, cleaning up my office. Give me a second. Hey, look up the rules for Oracle again. Okay, what was the reference for?
B72, P65.
Here we go. Okay. So that would be... Okay. Okay. And then... Man, my dice seem to favor you with this. So... With, when you step out to take a look around, you know, your oracling normally involves you searching for the ever-present deities that you worship. And you do see one off in the distance. Let's see. I need to, like, refresh myself on the name I gave that one before I say anything else. Give me a sec.
Feel free.
Has it been that long since I pulled up that document? There it is. So, in the distance, you actually see Steel Rain, which normally you guys decide to interpret that with a kind of like, oh, it's probably gonna be some nasty weather ahead.
Okay.
Although it's not as bad as seeing Storm God when it comes to bad weather.
Alright.
The other thing that is normally important of is that, let's see, gotta look at the document again. Because Steel Rain is never far from Stormhammer. So, Stormhammer is known for two things. One, just kind of being around. And two, the times that it isn't just being around, whatever it's targeting is normally wiped off the map with the exception of Canterlot. In recent memory, you actually bore witness to the full fury of Forge Hammer being laid against the magical barrier that protects Canterlot. And for the first time in recorded history, the barrier changed shape specifically to deal with the bombardment that lasted a full week.
And it was glorious.
You are unaware of what the cause of the bombardment was, but you do know that it was something that entire sections of your group were basically useless for that entire week because they were just like beside themselves.
Interesting.
You can decide on whether or not your character was one of those. However, with all that being said, you do not actively see Forge Hammer at the moment, and you are very close to the Canterlot barrier right now. So, even a fanatic cultist may need to take some pragmatism into account.
Yeah. Just writing down some notes.
Ice, do me a favor and roll a perception.
You're
And I'm also gonna have Emerald roll a perception as well.
Okay,
Just regular perception.
hold on.
Let me make sure I uploaded the right character sheet for you.
Yeah, no, this... No, you
Okay,
didn't.
I will fix that right now. Wait, did you give me
Yeah.
the one with the items? 'Cause
I
believe
didn't change anything after I sent it to you.
Okay. So you did send me one with full inventory.
Yeah.
I believe it should be this one.
For context, when I made my character, I didn't know what I was doing. So, he helped me make a better character after the session. Still the same dude, but the sheet makes more sense
does
what I
that
was
look?
trying to do.
Wrong. Hold on.
Yeah.
Did I have like 4 files for your character sheet now. So
It's the one simply labeled Emerald, I think. I don't know. Like,
okay.
I'll just roll 3d6. I have to hit a 10 or lower, I think.
What the heck? Which one is that one wasn't right either.
How do I? There we go. I fail
Okay.
by 5.
Give me a sec to like look into why I can't seem to find.
Fair enough.
Okay, so in here it's open that. Okay, so something is not doing what it's supposed to. So I'm going to do this because it's showing up right on my end when I open the actual sheet. There we go. Now you have skills. But no inventory. Why do you have no inventory? Did I not download the inventory one?
Did you open the wrong one? Because, like, you sent me the file and I sent you back the file updated. Did you open the wrong... I don't know. If it doesn't have an inventory, that's the wrong one. I don't know what to tell you.
There we go. Okay, now everything's fixed. Everything's working, we're good. I don't know why it hated your character sheet with the old character, but now it works. Let me give you ownership of it. There you go. You should be able to access it. Okay.
Yeah, that looks right.
So
Yeah, there we go, that's it. Anyways, I failed the perception check.
yes. So Ice, you also see Still Rain, and you were also, given that your people live around the Ponytown crater and stay in that general area, just move around a bit. I think your territory would probably go down into this direction, given that you're on the very outer edge of Teknite territory. You got to witness the week-long bombardment as well. It was close enough that you guys could feel the earth shake every time there was a hit, and far enough at the same time that you guys weren't suffering too many adverse effects, other than, nobody really slept well that week. So Steel Rain and Forge Hammer being essentially inseparable is a well-known fact for you guys as well.
Yeah.
And, you're kind of right next to the Camelot barrier. So what do?
Ivory will turn to them and go, as much as I wish for another glorious demonstration, we should probably get out of the blast radius.
I could not agree more.
Okay. So, if you guys are ready to head out, then who's gonna do the survival check this time? Because we have had such a great track record with this.
Isn't the token on the map?
At the moment, there is not a token on the map because I could not get one that's proper. I could not get the grid properly sized because I couldn't remember how to do it. So theoretically, you guys are right about here.
Yeah. Ivory will go ahead and do the survival.
Okay.
So, let's see.
It'd be survival planes right now.
Yup.
Okay.
Made it by 6.
Good job. So as I discussed before, the right now you could choose your direction, as well as this normal success is 1 tile, a crit success is 1.5 tiles, A fail is a tile in the wrong direction, and a crit fail I will decide how many tiles you end up straying.
Alright. Where should we even go? Well, since we were looking for a bit of civilization, and this was not a very successful look for civilization.
No, civilization got murdered.
Yeah. What's it called? So we probably want to go towards another piece of civilization so we
So
can
the
actually
closest
talk
one
to someone.
would be the Ponytown Crater.
Okay.
They are far enough away that if Forge Hammer decides that today is the day that it's going to open fire on the Canterlot Barrier again, then you won't have to worry. Unless, of course, something happens in the Ponytown Crater that pisses off Steel Rain. So Steel Rain, for reference, Forge Hammer is entirely built on around one giant railgun. It fires projectiles about the size of a bus. And given the size of most God engines, that's actually kind of a smaller projectile for them.
Yeah.
But Steel Rain, it is pony-shaped and just has two rows of 6 large guns. And all it does is fire artillery, kind of in the mortar style.
Yeah.
So, hence the name.
I think we'll take chance with Ponytown Crater.
Okay. So, you guys head to the crater, and give me just a sec. Okay. So you actually do see an encampment for the machinists. It appears that it's large enough to be the main encampment, because sometimes tribes of the size of the machinists will have minor offshoots. But it does appear that this is one of their main camps, which is a high possibility that the leader will be there, if it is, in fact, the main camp. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to do, or is this just going to be like a refilling food, ammo, stuff like that?
Food, ammo, information, and Ivory will, of course, do a little bit of proselytizing while he's there.
Yeah, I could make introductions.
When your group arrives, not only do they recognize Rapid Chatter being a member of the tribe, they also recognize Doc, and a lot of them seem shocked to see him. Since quite a few rumors about him have circulated that he has been long dead.
Carrying clout.
That would have been nice to happen when Doc could tell us why.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Pursue poo brain disease.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is, but maybe he will. Here, he hasn't said anything, so I'm gonna ping him and see if he. But we'll continue, see if he responds. Anyways, there are quite a few ponies kind of moving around. You do notice that they seem to have fortified the area a little more than they are usually known for. What do?
We can have rapid chatter basically introduce, since would probably be the best entryway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you going to go looking for a specific individual, or are you just gonna be there?
Oh well, once we're inside, Ivory's going to attempt to find someone who he would assume would be in the realm of information selling and gathering kind of stuff.
Let me look and see what you... So, you don't have anything in particular that really looks like it would help you with this, so I'm just going to have you roll a perception.
Let's go.
So, you do end up finding somebody that doesn't look like they're a member of the tribe. They may be like a smaller offshoot tribe or just like a completely different tribe, but regardless, they do seem to be of the shadier disposition, which often comes with knowing things that they shouldn't. What do you approach and what do you say? Because they're just sitting there at the moment.
Yeah, Ivory will approach with a... Hello, my child. I'm looking for something to be informed about. You look like you may be able to help me.
So he eyes you up and down and says, "What you got for me?"
Check my inventory. Damn, I'm out of candy. I don't exactly know what I have for like any form of trading. Shit. Well, we can make an exchange of knowledge, so to speak.
He rubs his chin and says, "Perhaps. What you looking for?"
He is going to be looking for any information on location of Free Pony Coalition members.
The pony you're talking to, which by the way, he's an earth pony, has a what appears to be a bloody scroll as his cutie mark. He's kind of a tannish color and missing one eye. He gives a low whistle and says, "That's kind of a pricey ask, honestly. That information seems to be on high demand. You got something that could match that?"
what kind of information are you looking to match?
At the moment, I can't think of anything in particular, but you may have something. I don't know what you know. So how am I supposed to tell you what's useful to me?
Good point. Well, I know the certain location of a place that wasn't very picked clean, but was left empty, so to say.
He raises an eyebrow, but doesn't say anything.
Would that be sufficient? A large, empty, for the most part, facility of kinds?
Perhaps. Depends on the name of the area. So
What was the name of the area that we were in?
you can roll hidden lore -2 to see if you can remember the actual name of the place that you were at. I'm assuming you're trying to talk
I
about
remember where we were.
the prison.
Yeah.
So the place actually did have a name amongst the Wastelanders, and they normally call it Butcher's Prison.
Mm.
So you're going to you also know that most people avoided that place just because of the ghost. Because they didn't know why it was happening, they just knew that nobody ever came back out.
Okay.
You knew this information going in, but you know, the fact that you walked in with 4 power armored ponies as well as Steelbrand were initially they kind of convinced you that it would be fine. And apparently they made it out fine, so...
Yeah, and I made it out fine, so it is perfectly fine.
But you will have to attempt to convince him, which... You don't have any actual social skills that would work for that, I don't think. So we will...
Lie the fuck up, I don't know.
So we're gonna do something that I've been kind of wanting to do for deception and persuasion anyways. You're going to present a convincing argument, and then I'll just have you roll 3d6 with a modifier dependent on how convincing I think you sound.
Okay. Oof. Alright, well now I gotta think of one.
In this case, it's not necessarily an argument, as basically just trying to persuade him that
Convince him to take the info.
take the info and that you're not just giving him info to a death trap.
Yeah. Well, as it would seem, I walked into the Butcher's Prison with a couple of, let's say, friends for shorthand.
He looks at
They
you incredulously and goes, "Bullshit."
Oh wait, I have my wax tablets, and I'll pull out my wax tablets, which contains like a log of me being in there and me talking to the FPC. Well, then you can go ahead and ask Steelbrand himself.
He looks at the tablets and then looks at you and says, 1, I can't read. 2, how the fuck do you think I'm going to talk to Steelbrand of all people?
He'll take back his tablets just because this motherfucker can't read. It's simply a expression. Either way, I walked in with 4 of his men and walked out alive.
He looks at you. Go ahead and roll. I'm gonna say with a +1, 3d6 +1. So he looks at you.
The +1 didn't apply to that, so that'd be 8.
Yes. He looks at you incredulously still and says, "Okay, I'm listening." You can tell he doesn't quite believe you, but you're getting there. Like, it all seems very far-fetched still.
Yeah. Well, being with my connections, I knew the land and they didn't. So they hired me, and I took them in. Walking out, I found another group. This one, and he will motion to them, wherever they are. Kind of hoping they point out Doc a little bit more.
Okay. So he notices Doc, and then his eyes widen and he says, "Oh, you're one of them." You know, you could have just said that you were with one of the Ravens.
Well, consider me an ally of them, more than a member.
He waves a hoof and says, yeah, I know Doc when I see him. And anybody that travels with Doc sees the weirdest shit, apparently.
That much I can vouch for, especially running from one of those fast waste spawns and pumping it full of lead.
Okay, I can believe the whole made it out of Butcher's prison, but I'm not gonna believe that you killed a spawn.
I never said I killed it. I just said I pumped it full of lead.
Why would you waste good bullets on that?
To send a message.
To what, the bullets?
To all those around.
You know, I knew your group was psycho, but, like, I didn't think wasting bullets on a spell spawn psycho. Regardless, I'll take the information. Last I heard, the main chunk of the FBC that's here, and not in space apparently, was heading north from Manhattan. Said something about something big being up there.
1 second. Sorry about that.
You're fine. Did you hear what I said?
North of Manhattan, and then that's where I got interrupted.
Something big's up there.
That is much helpful. Thank you. And he will go ahead and hand over the, what's it called? The location of the prison. He's a man of his word.
The information broker nods and takes the map out and marks the location.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm gonna swap over to Rapid, because Rapid Chatter was supposed to be introducing people. Who are you looking for? You gonna try and find your leader?
Yeah. Just make sure that whoever's in charge is okay with sort of outsiders hanging out in the camp for a bit.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll me a perception.
Ooh.
Okay. So you were able to find Bronzeye. Bronzeye has. Excuse me. Bronzeye has his upper half inside what appears to be some decrepit robot-like thing. Because smaller robots aren't uncommon to find. This one's much more primitive than, say, the God Engines. But he seems to be trying to get it into a working condition, which he's actually quite known for being able to do skillfully. So he's like, his bottom half is hanging out of a machine, essentially.
Okay.
In other words, he does not see you.
Yes, and this is where Rabbit Chatter just like quietly waits. Because he has severe shyness.
So, rather than coming out of the machine, he proceeds to crawl further in. So it doesn't particularly look like he's actually going to be coming out of there anytime soon, which is not unusual, honestly. Your entire tribe revolves around like the tinkering with and repairing of larger machines.
Yeah. Well, I'm in no rush. I wouldn't want to distract him from his work.
Okay. So, while Rapid is just waiting for his leader to get his head out of the machine he's working on, what is Emerald doing? Emerald, for reference, I don't remember if you were part of a tribe, or at least not one of the named ones, but you will be largely ignored in most Teknite and Arcanist tribes that are like the larger, more well-known ones, because Pegasi kind of straddle both. There are some that are considered Arcanists and some that are considered Teknite, so...
I'm a unicorn.
I could have sworn you were a Pegasus.
Nope.
No, Ivory is.
The name threw me off, because Emerald Ace made me think Pegasus. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're getting a lot of dirty looks.
Yeah.
Like, because the Teknite tribes, this is one of the more lenient ones. Deus Ex Machina would have been shooting at you already. But you're definitely getting the "you are the root of all of our problems" look.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of like shyly sticking to the back of the group because I don't want to be alone.
Okay. I'm also going to say at this point that Dog has left the group. He left a note in very badly written Ponish, because his hands are massive, that he had to leave for reasons to do with spawn hunting. Which, by the way, Dog was a spawn hunter for, I think, primarily fictions information. So, you know, probably one of the biggest assets you guys had just kind of fucked off. Literally one of the biggest, actually, because he was a diamond dog and they were massive. So, yeah. Dog has left, and so has the cat. Not Arinthian, Abyssinian. The Abyssinian has also left. Which, funnily enough, the Abyssinian was also part of a cult. Just not the same one.
All these cultists in the wrong cult. Can't believe it.
Is Rapid Shatter just really gonna like wait the whole time, or
Yeah, no, he's gonna wait.
do you like
Unless he
extra?
asks for like some sort of like tool or something that, you know, he'll help out if.
Well, as you are sitting there silently staring, you do note that Bronzeye has started fishing around with his hoof for his toolbox, which is currently across the tent.
Yeah, I'll go bring it over.
You hear a muffled thanks followed by a loud ping sound as something shoots through the I guess plating would be the word for it of the machine, followed by a stream of expletives.
Yep, that's pretty par for the course, honestly.
The next thing that comes flying out is a wrench. I'm gonna have you roll to dodge.
Oh, that roll.
Yeah, you get beamed right in between the eyes. You can tell it wasn't a purposeful aim throw at you, but you do take a pretty hefty hit between the eyes. It does 1 damage, which
Ow.
with DR applied is inconsequential.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that you don't just take that silently. If
No,
there
I
is some
do say
sound.
the ow.
Okay. Bronzeye comes sliding out of the machine and goes, "Oh, Rapid! Where have you been?"
It's been out.
Very specific.
Yeah, I found an interesting group to hang out with. They're
Oh,
actually
really?
here.
Well, who'd you bring?
I'll walk out and gesture at the party.
Bronzeye looks over the group, and for everybody's description of him, he is a rather plain brown earth pony with a gear for a. I believe that's what did I describe that already, actually? No, I do not appear to have described him. He's a rather plain brown earth pony. He's known for being very level-headed, very easygoing, not too big on like causing problems. He's got a gear for a cutie mark. The main thing that really sticks out about him is not the fact that he's missing an eye, but that he's replaced it. The reason he's called Bronzeye is because he is an eye that looks like it's been made by the Clockworkers. And their tribe is known for extremely intricate clockwork machinery, sometimes verging on being that point of being magical. As far as everybody's concerned, the eye is also functional. Or at least he hasn't given anybody any reason to believe otherwise. So he steps out with Rapid and is looking around at the moment. What were you gonna say, Nez?
What would be the point of the eye if it didn't function?
Exactly. But he looks around at the group, and when he looks at you, Emerald, he does pull a sour face, but doesn't really say much else. And it's not until he spots Doc that he's like, "Oh, you are keeping some interesting company, aren't you?"
Yes, sir.
Well, interesting and somewhat dangerous company aside, what brings you back?
We just happened to be passing through, actually. I was hoping they could stay in the camp for the night at least.
So
Amos?
he sorry about that. I was processing. He nods and says, "Well, I don't see a problem with you staying here as long as it isn't for long. We've had enough issues with Doc's retinue. Like, don't get me wrong, Ravens are great, but like the people that follow Doc around, strange folks that bring strange problems." And he rubs his chin and asks, "You gonna need anything in particular?" Ice?
Stuff was cutting out there. Rapid doesn't have anything he needs in particular, I don't think.
Okay. So, you guys won't have to do a watch tonight, if you don't want to. If the cultist is too paranoid and feels that he needs to, he's welcome to.
Yes, he will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Ivory will rejoin the group after going off and talking to some random guy.
Okay. I feel like now is a good time for the group to sit down and like talk about what the hell they're doing, because you guys have
That's a good part.
you have Nebula with you, and like she can give some information, but like she's for unknown reasons just kind of following the group around. Nobody's ever asked her, because
So it's just like me.
yeah, actually, not inaccurate. But yeah, she's just been kind of following you guys around, to perhaps coming up with a plan that you guys can communicate to each other. That is not just what was Doc doing.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because-
We'll go ahead and sit down and start doing that, 'cause that's a good idea.
I'm also going to point out that like the original plan was already completed, because the original plan was going to the butcher's prison, and you guys did that. You did been there and you left, and now you have no direction other than something FBC maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, as fun as that is, there's other things that you could definitely be doing right now if you wanted to. There's an entire wasteland here.
Mm-hmm.
Problems will find you.
Yeah.
So
All right.
somebody needs to initiate this conversation.
Yeah, Ivory will kind of pull up the fact that they don't really have any sort of like direction or major plan.
Yeah,
Be like,
I was just following Doc
That's-
around.
Well, as much as I am a loving one for such ambitious and aimless crusades and violence and such, having a plan tends to prevent death sometimes. So we should probably make one. What are our plans? That's a real question.
So you talking about like out of character?
Yeah.
I've got no clue.
Yeah, my guy's just been following Doc around.
Doc's motivations for what he's doing is he was brought back from the dead by someone. He doesn't really know because there hasn't been as much, we'll call it divine intervention happening on this setting as there has been with, say, Heart of Darkness's campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know right now, based off of like what Doc's general goal was, is that dealing with the FPC is something that he wanted to do because they are contributing to the problem rather than fixing it. And other than that, there's not really much that you guys have really decided because it's been kind of just wandering around following Doc, who
Yeah.
can be very unreliable on how around he is.
Never go full poo brain. Well, let's see. Ivory's main, like, end goal achievement would to pretty much find the FPC and get some form of repayment. He's not exactly like hostile towards them, though. Other than that, his life would pretty much be the same, other than this major part, just being like wandering, speaking the good word and stuff, trying to survive.
So, out of curiosity, does anybody have common sense?
My guy's insane,
No.
of course he doesn't.
No, common sense is like an advantage you can pay for in this game. In
Yeah.
GURPS.
Yes, it is. And this would be a moment that it could potentially be relevant.
Yeah.
So, I think what I'm
Really
gonna
check
do, it would be in the left side where your skills is. It would be on the box on the left instead. Which, looking at yours, you do not have common sense.
I mean, man's delusional, so.
I'm kind of surprised that Ice didn't take that.
Yeah, I was running thing on points. Maybe later he
So-
can learn common sense.
What I think I'm gonna have y'all do. So, do me a favor and roll me as a character first. Are you still like invested in following through with Doc's goals?
Yes.
So, roll me a quick intel check.
Oh yeah. It's big brain time.
Okay. Let's try with Emerald. Are you haven't been with the group much, and you know very little about Doc's goals. Are you invested in well, you failed either way, but
No. Yeah, my character's just here.
Okay. So, let me ask Ivory. Your goals is to find the FPC.
Yeah, very much.
With that, do you think you would be supporting Doc's goals? So Doc,
Because Doc would be hostile to the FPC, right? Basically.
specifically to,
That's what he said.
yeah, he said he was aiming for Steelbrand.
Yeah.
Would-
Rapid's kind of in the same boat. Not a big
Yeah.
fan of the FPC.
Well,
Well, if it would be more advantageous for Ivory to side with them for his end goals once he finds the FPC, then yeah, he probably would side with Doc.
okay, then I want you to try a new IQ roll and probably fail it as well.
Hey, I have a higher IQ than these guys.
Skin of
and
your
I
teeth.
That's
see-
a really high IQ, actually.
Yeah. My boy's
So-
intelligent and delusional.
There, with Doc's goals in mind, there is one thing that kind of sticks out as not very. So, even you've realized that the FPC, they basically told you they're from before your time. They are relics of the war. Because you guys, like, you're aware of the war, but at this point, you guys don't even fully remember, like, why the war happened, other than magic bad.
Yeah.
However, this group has arrived and has essentially taken over large swaths of the waste with extreme force that nobody can match. For reasons that, based off of your brief conversation with the guards that were with Steelbrand, make zero sense. Because this place is a shithole. There are giant machines that, yes, you worship them, but even you have to acknowledge that being able to build a permanent settlement would make this place so much better without having it being stepped on, or in some cases, if it's Plague King, everybody living inside of it essentially melting because of the amount of just toxic diseases and poisons flowing out from the thing. Or, on the flip side, being ripped to essentially just strips of dismembered meat by a scarecrow, or, you know, just kind of just vanishing off the map for unknown reasons due to some other spell spawn. There's no reason why a civilization, essentially, because at this point they're basically an entirely different civilization, capable of space travel, would want to come and settle here again. It doesn't make sense. Something is off here. And of course, you weren't really told their goals because you were told to essentially move the creature from the ever-burning pits from one space to another. And you spent, like, once they had showed you where you were supposed to lead them to, you spent the rest of that time fulfilling that goal.
Yeah, very much.
And so, whenever you think about it, why would they want to resurrect something essentially too big to fit even on their ships? Because if you go to the Manhattan area, Cathedral ship Deliverance is like unavoidable in the sky. Like, it is massive. But if what they told you about World Eater is true, you could almost half expect the mountain range up north to just get up and walk away in comparative size. Like, their ship is not going to fit that massive of a machine, and they don't control the rest of them. And your understanding of Lady of Ash, which they were talking about as well, being activated again, is that if it does go fully active and it is under their control, it is also still too big to fit on their ship.
Yeah.
So all of this seems very strange, all things considered. Can you see
He will share his insights.
Okay. So, you guys have been given this insight as well. Can you see the through line there, where you might be interested in pursuing further?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I ask specifically Emerald. You've just been kind of following these people around. Are you willing to, because all this talk of God engines and spell spawn and FPC, for a normal waste dweller, it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And this is very obviously going to get very dangerous.
Yeah. I was just kind of like piecing together like my motivations, like just like earlier in the session, you know. I think the reason why I'm following the group at this point is like due to how I am, nobody really likes me, and these are the first people who have not openly disliked my presence. So that's kind of why I'm sticking around at this point. And I kind of want to make. Additionally, I also want to make a name for myself, so maybe I can not be disliked in the street wherever I go.
Well, given the information that you would know about Doc, you'll make some sort of name for yourself.
Yeah.
Whether it's because you got turned to a smear on the pavement because of some massive problem that he ran into, or because you guys possibly fixed the wastelands, who knows?
Yeah.
But given that his goal aligns with something that would be much more positive, you know, being one of the few heroes of the waste that aren't just nameless spawn hunters,
yeah, exactly.
That is definitely a goal that you could take.
Yeah, and I think that's the one I will. So I'm coming along.
But as you guys are discussing this, Nebula, of all people, actually kind of chimes in, and I want everybody to roll a perception.
Again.
+2.
Plus
You
2, I still fail.
Yeah, I was about to say, you still fail.
Did that?
So
I don't know how to.
if you hover over the box with the +0 on it, you can
Other modifiers.
Yeah, it's got modifiers on it that will help you. Sometimes the box doesn't fit, but
Down in the bottom left.
bottom right from me.
I'm not clicking on the same thing you guys. I'm clicking straight on the sheet and it just goes. It doesn't open up an extra box or anything.
So,
Yeah, you have
not
to
on
add
the sheet.
modifiers beforehand.
yeah, if you hover over the box next to the 3 dice at the bottom of the screen,
Oh.
it'll pull up a modifier thing, and you can just add like a +2
Okay,
under other modifiers. Eh,
Okay, is that all I need to do? Just that.
There you go.
Yeah,
you did
yeah, that works.
So, Ivory, you're a little too absorbed in, like, you're looking at your hooves trying to decide, like, something. Nobody's entirely sure what. I'm not even sure you're entirely sure what, but you're trying to decide it. Just totally focused
It's
on
the one
other
of
things. But as Nebula interrupts, Emerald and Rapid, you both notice that her eyes, which were already unusual even for what little you guys know of Kieran, they're glowing now. And she says that she may have a bit of insightful information that might help you.
Oh.
She nods and says, I can see things that, for lack of a better way to say it, others cannot. And the FPC is looking for someone also from the old war. I don't know who, but that's all I really can give you, honestly. And as she finishes saying that, her eyes stop glowing.
That was a pretty light show you had going on there.
She gives a tired smile and nods, and says, "It happens whenever I see things." So, for my fanatic, since somebody pointed it out what was going on, I'm gonna have you roll your hidden lore.
Yeah. Any modifiers?
Nope. Because this is gonna see something essentially attached to religion. So, you've heard about individuals that can see into the future. And the description fits. And what she's telling you is information that you don't know yet. So, there is a large possibility that she may be clairvoyant. You also know, though, that they have very little actual control over it. So she's prone to probably random bits of seeing things that she would rather not, and such. And the fact that it's a Kieran is something that would be frustrating to you because it's not you. You're not the clairvoyant.
Yeah.
However, even if she is technically what you would consider an Arcanist member, there, where you would see a normal Arcanist member is like essentially dirt. She's somewhere above that because of her ability is far more valuable than just pathetic attempts at magic. You also, for your oracle ability works very similarly, and you're aware of that, except you don't get to see actual visions. You have to interpret things.
Yeah.
Also for Emerald, if you get too close to her, you can entirely negate her ability to see things. If
I know.
if she is having a vision.
Yeah, the second that started happening, I took a step back.
I will say that for you, you have actually heard of clairvoyance amongst, because the magical races are much more likely to be a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
So you have heard about them and understand enough to know that you have a tendency to make things difficult for them to see, and you have actually heard about somebody that had because your particular issue is not 100% unique. You know other people that have been close to people that just, it seems like there's something missing to them, and everybody seems to know it, and they all seem to have the same thing in common with you, that they have very little magical skill. But like, it's not common enough that you have actually met somebody, but it has been common enough that you heard a story of a clairvoyant in the middle of a vision running into somebody, and both of them start screaming in agony.
Oh.
So you do have precedent to not want to be too close to her whenever she's having a vision.
Yeah. That does not sound like something I want to happen.
And I'm also going to let you know that there is more going on here than just the... this is out of character information, but there's more going on here than just the implications of your actual disadvantage.
Okay. It's an advantage, but yeah.
I keep forgetting it's an advantage, because it
Yeah, to
always...
spend points on this shit.
The fact that you can't be magically healed makes it sound like a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had already been thinking about doing something along this lines, which is why I was not upset about you picking it. So there is in-universe reasons on why this makes sense.
Yeah. For some reason, I had the impression that I was unique, but that makes it much more interesting that it's like a little bit. At least I've heard of other people.
You have heard of it, but like it's one of those like hearing about people that hearing about people that have blue skin. Like you know they exist, but you've never seen one in person.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like you just happen to be the unlucky bastard that happened to have the blue skin in this case, or for your actual mana dampener. But you don't understand what's really going on. You just know that everybody doesn't like you, and you can't do magic, and there are other people like you that it's not the same as how everybody else has trouble with magic. It's just you just straight never have been able to magic.
Yeah. In Magic Kindergarten, other fools were like having sparks and like failing, and then for me, nothing just happened at all.
You made the constipated. I can English. You made the constipated magic face, while everybody else started spewing random sparks and. You know, occasionally somebody threw a book off a table. Instead, you just farted.
Yeah. Also,
Anyway.
potentially the student sitting next to me.
Yeah, the student sitting next to you was also, on either side, was just equally as unlucky, except for the one day that you weren't there, and then they were able to do something, and then realized the common denominator was you.
Yeah.
And that's when you started getting bullied.
Yeah. Hooray!
But yeah, there is a bigger meaning to what's going on to you, or what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys now have a bit more insight now. I said now twice. What what are you guys gonna plan? Like the information that you have. What is y'all's plan? Especially since this is probably going to be the most consistent members of the group as of right now.
Okay. Fuck it. I'm done with this plan. Let's go be heroes.
Yeah, I guess beginning to hunt down the FBC and find or do whatever to them.
Yeah, mess up their plans somehow.
So are you going to share the information that you learned, Ivory? Because I don't remember you actually sharing that bit.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did you?
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, I said I what's it called? Share my insights. That was my
So
insight.
Yeah.
I need both of the two with the hidden lores to roll their hidden lores at -3.
Oh, yikes. Ah, damn, by one.
There it is. Nope.
So you guys have heard rumors of things up there. If you note on the map, it actually does up here say evil ice robots ? Because nobody actually knows. There's rumors that there's an ancient empire up there and a city that was like full of color at one point and then wasn't and then was and then wasn't. And just like all kinds of other things up in the north that are quite terrifying if you're to be honest with yourselves on like what rumors have circulated. Granted, there are lots of rumors that circulate about things in the wastes that are terrifying to see. So, what do you think you guys want to do now, given that your information is that the FBC was heading north with a large group? And logically speaking, with the size of the group, Steelbrand is probably part of it.
Well, if we're going to be following after a large group, this is out of character, by the way. Probably gonna need a bit of help.
So, possibly searching for a hireling of some sort.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe get another fanatical member of my tribe. Start converting everybody.
You already got potential devotee like last session. You don't need another one for now.
No,
You've had enough.
I need a lot more. You know, there's a machinist in here. That's another possible member. I did say Ivory is proselytizing while he's here, so maybe we'll get an aberrant to join.
So,
Or adherent.
we've got one step to it.
Yeah.
Are there any other preparations that you would like to make? Remember, this is the frozen north that you are headed towards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely need warm clothes.
Okay.
Where do I check, like, my money and stuff?
I was
in your-
looking at your total when you had money was 5,000, and I was looking at what you had in your list, and it looks like you spent all of it.
Yeah. I did.
So you are broke.
Hell yeah.
I have 45 silver. Probably
Spend
not
that
enough to
much
buy an
money
outfit for
anyway.
everybody.
So,
Well, when I asked, you were like, just tracks it for you. And so I didn't add any, like, currency.
well, you spent all your currency. The only one that
I know, but
has
at the time when I asked you, I hadn't. So I spent it all on other stuff.
I believe I told you, like, in person when you were doing the items that you just added an item that tracks money. If you right-click, you can add an item, and then you just put money and then the amount.
Yeah.
I normally, that's what I tell everybody that's doing inventory stuff that asks me what I put my money.
Would the machinists have like any fancy technology for dealing with cold?
No, they
Other
don't go.
than like a flamethrower.
Yeah, what's it called? You didn't tell me that. I messaged you in DMs, and I was like, what's user currency? I mean in the GURPS interface, and you're like, it tracks dollars, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was a lie. More or less.
I'm pretty sure that I misunderstood your question.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now. That's fine. I'm the bro Kermit that has like a living shit ton of stuff.
As far as so here's a fun fact about the wastes. Their weather is fairly stagnant when it comes to temperature, especially since sometimes the sun and moon just decide that they're not moving. There will be some days that are weeks long and some nights that are weeks long, but like it never drops to a temperature that it would require much in the way of cold weather equipment.
Yeah. Just kind of temperate.
No seasons either, just constant meh.
Not particularly. Like, it does get slightly colder, but not to the extent of, like, say, if you live north. But it also has a tendency to drastically switch temperatures depending on how far south or north you go. Honestly, it never makes sense. It is not meant to make sense.
Fair enough.
Because, like I've said before, there's things happening behind the scenes that are keeping things this way. So, you will be able to find cold weather gear, but you're probably going to have to find a tribe that lives closer to the frozen wastes that isn't. Actually, roll me another hidden lore for both of you. The God Engines ones will be at a -2. And the Machinist one will be at a -1.
Made it by 5.
Okay. I'm gonna wait till Ice rolls his.
Where is it? Oh no. These rolls.
Not doing so great on the rolls today. So Ivory, you've been around the wastes long enough to have met one of the major Teknite tribes, and the Clockworkers have always had a mysterious obsession with, if they can't convince somebody not to go north, they will kill them. You've never been able to get an answer on why, because most of the time you prefer to stay alive, and they can be surprisingly violent despite how normally docile of a tribe they can be. In fact, they have been the repetitive, recipients of many psycho attacks. But like for some reason, anytime the North is brought up and somebody insists they are going there, they're normally killed off if the clockworkers are involved.
Okay.
Not to say that
So-
people haven't gone north, but the ones that the clockworkers find out about never make it there.
Oh, okay. So if someone's like, we're heading north, the clockworkers try to kill them.
Yes. If they find out about it.
Okay. Good to know.
And their territory is normally up in this area over here, as close as they can get to the nuclear wastes without getting too close.
Okay. Basically, they surround the nuclear waste.
They stay on the Teknite side of things, which, given that the line goes from the this mountain over here and essentially cuts across the diagonally across the Canterlot barrier all the way to the next ocean that it can get to. That's about
Yeah.
that is a very small area, but there's also a small mountain range right here that makes it a little more difficult for Teknites to get around. So most of them avoiding, because they have, both sides have an unreasonable amount of avoidance for each other when it comes to each other's territory. Most Teknites will try to go this way. That's not saying that's the only way, but that's where most Teknites will
It's the
go.
most common way. Yeah.
And
Okay.
the other tribe that used to live here, but Deus Ex Machina used to live in this, used to be the Manhattan City, but has actually turned out to be Bastion. So,
The Bastion? What do you mean?
the God Engine, Bastion.
Oh. Oh, okay, so there's just a god engine there. Alright.
Well, not anymore. It got up and left,
Oh, okay.
which surprised the entire waste that was a God Engine, because they thought it was just a giant domed city.
Okay.
And actually, I believe Doc has talked to you about it and mentioned that his group was responsible for it getting up and leaving.
Whoa.
I think he was very vague about that.
That sounds like a story. All right.
It would be lovely if Doc was here to tell it,
Yeah.
because that's also where Cathedral Ship Deliverance came from, which is now essentially parked over this ocean over here. And the only time it seems to do anything is an occasional bombardment launched. Right now, you guys won't be able to see it from where you are, and the fact that it's currently very cloudy. But if you do end up heading in this direction, it is absolutely massive, and you will not be able to miss it. It was also cloudy when you were here as well, though, so... But yeah, fun information for you. So,
Yup.
where would you guys like to plan for your journey to go? I know I keep dumping more and more
Yeah.
information on you, but
Yeah.
If my
Um,
character knows about the clockworkers basically trying to kill anyone that goes north, I would not want to go the regular way. But my character
I've
would
heard-
also know nothing about anything over near the Cloudsdale ruins area.
Yeah, I would definitely bring up the clockworkers if no one else did, considering he doesn't want to die.
Yeah.
with your role, Rapid, I'm gonna say that your tribes have been on such good terms that it just slipped your mind that they can be very violent about people going north. Because your tribes tend to trade very often because your tribe ends up finding a lot of parts that they can't use because they're too small and delicate, and they are perfect for the clockworkers. So you would tend to need each
Not
other.
to mention, we wouldn't.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And not to mention, we wouldn't really have a particular need to go up north.
That as well. It's cold up there. Why would you go freeze your ass off?
Ivory will bring up the possibility of finding his tribe and attempting to get a couple more fanatics to help them with the journey. Consider he's not going to tell them his goals, but he has a sneaking suspicion he'll be able to get some people to join up.
Okay. So you want to find one of your tribe's outposts, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
See. Roll God Engines +2. See if you can. This is less so to see if you know where they are, and more of a where they should be.
Made it by 7.
Okay. So, in theory, if you remember the routes correctly, because they are also a nomadic tribe, they should be down in the ruins down in this area right now. Yeah, they will be there for about 2 months.
Alright.
Because they follow very set paths with a majority of these nomads, because it's just easier because they know what to expect in those areas at those times. Kind of a seasonal thing. Even though seasonal isn't as important.
Yeah. So Ivory will bring that up to the group. But he'll change any mention of the worshippers of the God Engines to just my group.
Which I don't know if
Or my
anybody
tribe.
other than Doc has actually identified what you are.
He intends to keep it that way for as long as possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I imagine I would have even less chance of figuring it out than anyone else.
Oh, absolutely. At most, you will have heard mention that they exist, but not be able to identify one if you spotted one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Rapid, if he had been able to pass the roll, would have known that listening to this guy when it comes to anything religious is a bad idea. I
What do you
mean,
mean? I'm just your local friendly preacher. Spreading the good word.
the good word of worshipping the giant death machines.
Hey, they obliterate your enemies if you pray hard enough.
And you along with them.
Yeah, but the enemies though.
Self-sacrifice is a
Nessable?
Yeah, a necessary part of faith.
Ah, yes, of course.
So, what is what are y'all's opinions on his decision to go here to recruit more people?
Yeah.
I mean, help is good. I don't think we would be able to afford a machinist to help out, though.
I
Better
feel
things
like
to do than fly around.
I feel like if we're going north, then going south seems like the opposite of what we want to do.
I don't know. Ivory seems to think there could be people that can help there.
If we need help for this, then heading south would be a way to get some very cheap and enthusiastic help.
So
Alright.
Nebula also does chime in and point out that you lost 2 members and there is now only technically 4 of you. And then looks at Doc and says maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she then clarifies that while she will be traveling with you, she is very bad with combat. So,
Yeah.
not to mention that you guys have 2 carts that need to be pulled still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ivory has the brains, not so much the bronze.
Yeah. About the same here. I guess.
She also points out that Doc has a reputation too, and it's not always the best. People will be happy to see him, and then even happier to see him leave.
Yeah.
So there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Ivory's people are the type of people who would actually want to like help out with Doc's shenanigans, then that's probably our only option for help, honestly.
Nebula says that Doc's previous group was prone to finding random individuals that could assist them in their journeys, only for them to either die or go insane. And then notes that the vast majority of them are dead.
That is fun.
Ivory will wave it off, like, death's a part of the wasteland. It is what it is.
She does clarify that you can't finish your goals if you're dead.
He has no argument against that. She's just right.
I personally would rather be not dead.
Each their own.
She does say that most of the time the deaths were their own fault, and kind of points out that one of them was in Bastion at one point and ended up getting arrested and ended up dying because of it. 2 of them actually, because one of them just like for the 2 the machinist and the God Engine cultist, Deus Ex Machina has been one of the most powerful tribes of the Tech Knights, yes, but it's primarily because if anybody pulled out a gun in Bastion, where they were living at the time, they would be mowed down with extreme prejudice by old world machines that were used for policing, but they were actually repurposed military machines. So some of them would be mounted with like miniguns, and that's how they dealt with violence within the city. So yeah, most of the time the Deus Ex Machina's favorite tactic was to essentially taunt attackers into attacking inside the city and then just letting the city security mow them down.
Yeah.
So, you know, getting told that one of Doc's previous party members did the equivalent of committing suicide inside the city, and knowing that that's the reputation that his groups have, with the exception of the Ravens themselves, it's got to be a little difficult to recruit people.
Yeah.
We'll just hide him. It'll be fine.
It's like everybody's happy to see him here, but they're even more excited when he's finally gone.
Yeah, it's a nice story to say, oh yeah, Doc showed up. But you don't actually want Doc to stay around.
The longer he's there, the more likely weird shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Ivory's trying to think on when they go there whether or not Emerald should stay like hidden, because that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Not all of your tribe members are as enlightened as you are. Your extreme
Yeah.
intelligence is what I attribute to you not being as violently fanatical as some of the others. You're fanatical, yes, but not violently so.
Depends on the circumstance.
The only thing that separates some of your tribe members from psychos is the fact that, one, they can speak in normal sentences, but two, they're fanatic following of the God Engines.
Yep. Ivory has a way to, like, I have an idea on how to convince some people. The issue would be trying to find a way to basically be like, oh yeah, we also have a unicorn here.
And the Kieran. Don't forget the Kieran.
Yeah, and a Kieran. I have an idea on how I can word it well enough.
I still find it funny that nobody has ever really asked why the Kieran is tagging along, especially with as dangerous as she's admitted Doc's group can be.
I mean, she's been here longer than I've been here.
But
So,
she kind of nice.
Ivory just tries not to
Not to think about it.
that much mind. Yeah, like, oh, of course a Kieran is going with a Raven. That just makes sense, obviously.
Obviously.
But yeah, what do you mean?
Just
it
knows,
doesn't?
like, she used to be part of Doc's old party. So he's like, eh.
So let me make sure I've understood the plan correctly. You guys want to go from Ponytown Crater to the camp for the God Engine cult.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
I think so. Or at
See if
least
you
where we
can-
think it'll be.
See if you can recruit somebody there, and then from there, find cold weather gear to head north. Do you know where you're heading north from? Like, what direction are you taking to get there?
Let's see. We want to avoid the clockworkers, and we want to go in the general direction of the FPC. So, the FPC were last seen or heard going north of Manhattan. So probably be the most advantageous to basically book it to the coast and then head north to kind of help prevent getting lost. I mean, Ivory does have like a compass.
I mean, you could book it to the north, or you could go more into central Equestria and go up through Arcanus territory.
Yeah.
That is also an option.
I mean, right now we're kind of sitting on like 50-50 in terms of like people who would be at least visually Arcanus align, and then Techite align. Or, well, I guess Pegasus are kind of like 50-50, so as long as nobody really figures out, Ivory could kind of pass as either.
You and Doc would be the two that would be most likely to face problems, with you being even more likely because Doc still has his reputation that has spread throughout the waste.
Yeah.
So it is still a possibility, it just may be a little more uncomfortable for you in particular.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a lot less of a chance that you'll run into the clockworkers. Because
That is true.
the clockworkers have essentially found a natural bottleneck. It's either you go through Bastion and like that territory, or you go through their territory and essentially get stuck in the natural bottleneck. Because the alternative is going through this pass over here into the nuclear waste.
And that's probably a bad idea.
You don't have any of them, either the technology-related stuff or the magical version to survive that. So no, you would not. You would make it about a mile in and probably end up dead.
Yeah. I mean, heading through Bastion doesn't sound that terrible. As long as nobody, does something really stupid.
I will say that it's probably not a great idea.
Yeah. I personally might rather take my chances going through Arcanus territory. Like, what are they gonna do?
That's...
They have magic, but magic doesn't work.
Fucking kill me. What are they gonna do? Shoot me? Ends up dead.
I mean, if we're being entirely honest, it is equally as likely to get shot here as if you were to go like somewhere in this area. Now, if you go all the way to Philadelphia and start talking about the God Engines as a object of worship, then you will get shot.
Yeah. Man, I feel like if we go into Arcanus territory, that compulsive line is gonna start pricking up really fast. But if we meet some clockworkers and they even get the idea that we're heading north-north, it's practically a death sentence.
Yeah.
Not to mention you have have a much smaller area, given that you basically have to go right through here, because all of the darker sand-colored area is considered nuclear waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be no sneaking that way. Or at least it would be very difficult.
At least this way, you don't have a potentially murderous tribe of Tech Knights ready to rip you apart for even thinking about going that direction.
Yeah, so Arcanus does seem to be the best way to go.
Yeah, it's like,
What you got, Nez? I heard you start.
Going around up here is like much farther away than where. I don't know where in the north we're going. Do we know exactly where in the north they went?
North of Manhattan.
Okay.
That's the information we have.
They headed that way. That is what you. And they will be uniquely able to get past all of the obstacles that you guys will have to deal with, because one, future tech. They have ultra tech levels of technology, and two, what the fuck are the clockworkers supposed to do against a bunch of heavily armed, heavily trained ponies?
Not a lot.
Clockworkers against them is the same power difference as us versus the clockworkers.
That's another thing we need to find a way to address. what are we going to do when we meet the FPC?
Oh, I almost
No
forgot about
idea.
your other party member that would be uniquely equipped to possibly help you with that is currently in the hospital right now.
Yeah. Because, like, Ivory has that revolving shotgun. If he gets close enough to someone, they no longer have a face. However, when it's put between, like, armor, it's not as effective.
Yeah, considering that.
Considering it's a pellet, not a slug.
Yeah, and especially considering that like the damage reduction on power armor gets ridiculous quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my rifle could probably pierce, but I only have the one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only one pony.
And by the sounds of like the description that you were given, this is essentially a small army that started moving this direction
Yeah.
from Manhattan. It was a very sizable group, and it was not a just like a patrol. So
Yeah.
they were moving with a purpose for some reason in a northwardly direction. And the timing of it all implies that they may be in search of wherever the final God engine is.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ivory does not have enough information or knowledge in order to raise an army of God Engine worshippers to even attempt to try and do that. Or
And
to try and face them.
let's be honest, you'd be walking into
And-
a massacre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. Like, we're just out of equipment for it. Number one, we probably need some money. So it may be a good idea to do jobs as we're moving. Collect some money. Upgrade our equipment. Probably get something that can pierce armor. Probably get something that can deal with waste spawn too.
You spell spawn?
Yeah, spell spawn.
Okay.
I say waste spawn for some reason, I don't know why.
So, you're all heading south may actually be a little more advantageous to you than you thought.
Yeah. Considering we can probably even get a job here before we leave. Actually, that might be dangerous with our low amount of people. So we could go south, pick up some people, do some jobs as we start heading north again. Get money, get equipment, kind of bulk up a bit.
I could ask the machinists if they need anything like ferried down south or anything. You never know. There could be something we could handle. Because that is a bit out of machinist territory. So they might need something done.
So, plan is to head down south. Do you want to hit the Appaloosa ruins? Is a question. Is there the possibility that with this being a Technite area, that there may be undiscovered bunkers? Not only
Ivory is
Definitely find interesting stuff.
Uniquely set up for getting through ruins, considering he has like all the tools to knock down anything. I got wire cutters, saw, hacksaw, extra saw blades. I got the whole ass tool kits on my back. I got crowbars, felling axes.
Oh, you have a whole bunch of toolkits as well?
Yeah, on his back is a crate that is nothing but like a portable workshop.
Nice. If you want, you could unload that into my cart. You
Sure,
won't have to lug it around.
sure, he'll throw it in the back of the cart.
Okay. So, just to make sure the plan is clear to me as well. You guys are going to head from the Ponyville the Ponyville crater to the Appalachian ruins, and from the Appalachian ruins, you're going to head to this little town here, or the ruins of it, to meet up with the people that are
Sounds like it.
the cultist members of I can speak of Ivory's cult.
God Engine cultist.
Yeah. And then from there, heading up north past the Canterlot barrier and making your way into the mountains somewhere up in this area.
Yep. Pretty
Okay.
much.
So, given that it's just the three of you and it has been 2 hours, do we want to put a pin in it and just inform the others once they get back to, like, as to, like, the actual, like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like we had a lore dump and planning session. Sorry, guys.
I mean, according to... we actually do have a viewer now. Hello, viewer!
Wowee.
But I've been periodically checking it because it's right next to the timer. We haven't had very many people watching this session.
Fair enough.
With how inconsistent it can be, it doesn't surprise me. But hopefully next time, I may just set it up so that there's a bot that, like, we have Dino. I think I can get it to regularly ping the roll call for me so I can quit having to remember to do it myself. So maybe Moon will remember that, we have a session on Saturdays that he's part of, that he could at least tell me he's not going to make it for. Otherwise, if you guys enjoyed that and would like to see more of it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, check out all the links in the description. We got my Patreon, my open Discord, so if you're interested in chatting with any of the people that you see on any of the streams, because a lot of the guests actually stick around, then feel free to check that out. Otherwise, the Patreon. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, especially if you want to show further support to the channel. There's some pretty great, what are they called? Pretty great perks. I am just, like, losing all of my words today. If you are at the $5 tier, you get to actually join in and listen in on the actual, not only the post-game discussions for these campaigns, but also to the podcast, and your questions get priority. A lot of good stuff. $10 tier, you get your name read out, which a big thank you to my current $10 tier patrons: Cameo Shadowness, Ice Crystal, Scarmix, and Trailblazer. Oh, apparently I'm down to 4. But big thank you to y'all. I couldn't keep doing this without y'all's help. Otherwise, everybody have a great afternoon. We will see you again tomorrow for Heart of Darkness, and then next week we'll have no campaigns or podcasts because of HarmonyCon, and then a week after that we'll be back to business as usual. Other than that, everybody have a great afternoon. Don't forget to drink water.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown, we'll climb up after any fall. We know who don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.